Hi Aquarius, it's been a long time, so I'm just going to get right to it. When I was meditating and shuffling through the cards, it's a little loud. I'm guilty for that. The Five of Wands, the Nine of Swords, and the Fool fell out in that order. So there is so much like inner conflict with Aquarius. Like we bear all. We just, when we go inside and we work with our subconscious, we bear it all so we that can receive it thoroughly. That's what we do as Aquarius. We bear the emotion, we bear all the water, and we give it back. Like we must. That's why we come off as detached so much, because we're actually just constantly and consistently seeking, especially with all this 12th house energy. But we'll get into that. But unlike Virgo, which is where all the energy is right now, we do bear all. There's not an innocence about us that Virgo has. We both have that, purity, and uniqueness, but it's in such a different way. And when we got all this stuff going on in Virgo for Aquarius, that's rough. So anyway, but I wrote down, like, we've stripped down things inside of us with all this Virgo weather raining down on us. And then as soon as that happened, my laptop shut down, and I was thinking at the time when it shut down, I was going to upload for Aquarius first to like come back, because I haven't uploaded in so long. And it's sorry for my voice and if my speech is a little messed up, but it is part of just getting chemo. Like I just finished, like I'm here free of all that nonsense. So, but I feel that we have all this like shit on our backs, and especially if you're Aquarius rising, your 12th house of the subconscious has got Saturn and Pluto there, and it's getting hit, and I think that, that Five of Wands and that Nine of Swords, like there's this conflict, and then we're going inside and we have this conflict, because I don't know about you all, but how did you feel when that moon was in Capricorn that we just got out of, that moved into Aquarius, and now the Pisces full moon? I don't know how you felt, but I was feeling pretty rough with the subconscious. Like I was having a hard time grasping, sitting still. Like it was rough. So I wanted to, go back up in the mind. I couldn't get grounded the way that it was necessary. So, but once it flipped back to our moon in Aquarius, I heard like this come through, like this is what you're meant to do. So I posted a picture of those 3 cards on my Instagram in the order they came out at Hazel's house 8. And if you notice in the Fool card, I just want to say he's like dancing through puddles. And the way they depicted it was like it just opened up everything. Like tears came out when they landed on the table. But I felt great right after, because I could breathe again. So we're going to see what else falls out for you, and I'll finish what happened. I fell face down, so we'll wait. I spoke before I shuffled, and all I said out loud was just show me Aquarius. And then boom, like all 3 of those cards fell out. And the Four of Wands was at the bottom of the deck. So when you go to my Instagram, look how this Deviant Moon deck depicts the Four of Wands. I think you're finding, at least going to find out, just how powerful the subconscious is. We had a few fall out there. It's all the Page of Cups. I suggest looking into astral travel. Don't jump in. I strongly suggest you don't jump in. Make sure you get educated and get your knowledge, and all the possibilities. Everything's always 50-50. I've been hearing that a lot. So make sure you're coming from a good, loving spot and not like a self-seeking spot, because you can have some stuff happen. But be ready to seek God in a way that, we as society don't really allow. So let's turn these over. So you had let's see, this came out. I'll hold all these up. I'm going to point the camera down like I always do. God, it's been so long. Like I haven't set up, it feels like the correct way or anything. But that's the way it goes. So we got the Seven of Wands and the Hermit. But the Seven of Wands fell out by itself. And the Hermit and the Ace of Swords. And then the Six of Pentacles. And the Pisces Page of Cups came out. So I think with that, you know, the Seven of Wands, we can get out. You know, we can get out of everything that we think is holding us back. The Seven of Cups in reverse. Or I'm sorry, Nine of Cups in reverse. But I'm thinking of that Seven of Wands. You know, all we have to do is just walk out. Like our subconscious doesn't have to trap us. And I think that's what the Hermit comes out next for. So, you know, I think we're done with wishful thinking. You know, or we went at things, you know, we wanted to go at things full light, but I think we went into a dreamy state, like in a Pisces approach, which can be a dreamy state, especially with this full moon going on. I think that says a lot. Let's see what else falls out for Aquarius. The Ace of Swords, like I said, you can start. Well, I'm going to go deeper into that Ace of Swords, especially when it's coming out with all those pentacles. So this, I'm going to let that stop right there. The Queen of Wands, and then the Devil and the Two of Swords came out together. The Devil can be a big part of our subconscious that, you know, it weighs on us. When I saw that Nine of Swords fall out, like I said, I felt like, I know, like I'm Aquarius rising, but this could be anywhere Aquarius is in your chart. If you have a stellium there, if you have a sun and a moon, you know, in Aquarius or anything like that, if a moon in your rising sign is Aquarius, if you're in your natal chart, Venus, especially Mars, with all that energy, that's a good spot to look if you have a lot of Mars energy in Aquarius. It's been, you know, this constant battle, and I know I can get out. We are smart enough as Aquarius to know, like we are wise enough to know that we can get out. But for some reason, some of us got to go really, really deep. And this can't resonate with everyone, but make sure you like just take what is there. You know, just listen to something in it. And there's got to be something where it resonates, because this is Aquarius as a whole. So, but if it doesn't, I'm going to upload some more signs. I'm going to point the camera down and go more into detail with everything we've got laid out in front of us. Be right back. I'm back, Aquarius. See that Seven of Wands that fell out? I think we want to get out. And if you don't know this by now, yeah, everybody goes through this stuff where you feel like you lose yourself. You question, am I going crazy? Am I crazy? Well, truly crazy people don't know they're crazy. So you can take a breath. The first time I heard that, I did not create that. It helped. Like there's a freedom in that. And it's just part of our thinking. So we have the power and the ability to come out of all this like daily routine energy. You know, Virgo rules that 6th house. So we have the power to come out of it. You know, we don't have to conform. We can't conform. Aquarius, we're not supposed to, because we have to separate. So sometimes we have to go into this hermit mode. Where I am, you may also be. This isn't isolation. It's just we're not prepared. Ace of Swords comes out next, seeing the excessiveness of this battle, but finding relief, you know, by knowing the only way not to lose ourselves is to give to others, like we're made to do. because with the Six of Pentacles falling out, we see how we're trapping ourselves. Look at the moon's eyes closed. There's a fogginess when we come out of hermit mode. But we know we gotta give. No matter how detached we've been, we have to say, I love you and I forgive you. And that can go inside and out. So anytime bad thoughts come up, we can do that. And by giving all the things that we hold on to, we turn it into more profit, more success. We turn all those swords in our back and, and over our heads and all the things that we feel are too much. We can turn it into giving to those less fortunate. With that falling out next, we have to share that testimony from the goodness of our heart. So just share the testimony from the goodness of the heart. And that's where the arm's coming out in this and handing to the less fortunate. People may look at us, like we're very different, and we may feel like we isolate from others, and we may really do it. But we're always dreaming. With the Page of Cups, this is showing, change under this Pisces full moon. It's just showing me that's where we're at right now. And I can always start over. But it is a very dreamy state. But there's a whale in the back here, like the fins are coming up from the water. And there's some trees that don't have a lot of bloom on them in the back. So I think we can leave that stuff behind. That's kind of how we felt. We felt very bare, very just naked, vulnerable, and sick of being with self. And that's everybody gets like that. And remember, we're not alone in it. And I always write stuff down, but I feel like that dreaming is just so big in this whole feeling right now. And I think writing down dreams, as soon as you wake up really does help. And as soon as I wake up, it helps me write down what I dreamt about. Especially if you have crazy dreams or you're not sleeping because of, underneath the dreams, the Page of Cups, that dreamy state is the devil. So sometimes we can feel like, stuff's keeping us up at night. Our subconscious can do it. But it's hard in hermit mode. When we realize, we're no longer lying to ourselves. We're done with it. It's hard enough as it is. So it's hard in hermit mode, but it's necessary. Because the Nine of Cups reversed, all that can finally end now. Becoming magnetic instead. Owning your own self, your own boundaries, new boundaries. Because of this Queen of Wands falling out right next to it. It's a new fire. It's a very, seeing that beauty that Virgo has, that queen-like quality that Virgo has. And setting fire to it, where Mars was in Leo not too long ago. We saw all the stuff that was in front of us. We saw what we're capable of. And I think other things happen in life, and, it's not so fun anymore. We're like, can I do this? We question our sanity. We question our abilities, what we're capable of. Virgo will make you do that. Virgo, that's what they do. They go in and they pick apart. I mean, we need them to do that for us. So I think it's going to cause a success. And that could be with anything, with what you've given, you've become successful with seeing your own subconscious. And if you're well, everyone's well. I just said it to a friend that I can't give anything that I don't have. I can't give it. And if I expect anything back that I do give, I shouldn't have given it in the first place. It's from one of the best books ever. That's all I'm going to say about that one. But then we get this Two of Swords come out right after. And I think moving into that Libra season with the Two of Swords, especially when Venus moves in there, because Venus loves Libra. there's something there. There's a Venus and Taurus there, and Venus and Libra. There's a love that is just, seeing the beauty in things in self and our external environment. What we have attracted. Swords are on both shoulders, the black and the white. Seeing both sides. Notice the two different colors. Of course that's not human. That's, like I said, a nakedness, and look how they're bald. And honestly, I'm Aquarius rising, and I'm wearing a wig right now. I'm really bald. Like, I've been stripped down. I think a lot of us have in our own way. It doesn't have to be cancer. It doesn't have to be disease, but it's up to us. When I see this devil card fall out, again, this is not human affairs. That's what I just heard. Like, this is not about human affairs. This is total, both sides of self. But it's being able to see it in a very loving way. Because if not, I think this devil card's showing us itself, because if we don't try to see both sides in all the situations that come at us, we're going to fall back into that, we're going to fall back in there. And then we're going to be knowing that why and everything that caused us to go back into that Seven of Wands. We have all this fire around us. All we got to do is pick one up and light the path. It's not about wisdom of other things. It's about wisdom of self. We can balance, we need the devil, we need God. We need to balance both. But we can fall back into that trickery of that negative thinking. That conflict and burdens at night. With the Five of Wands and the Nine of Swords coming out. We don't always like how angry and negative we get, but it must need to come out, because the Eight of Swords in the bottom of the deck. I mean, it's just, the moon is trying to shine. Look, the Lovers underneath in reverse too. Being one with self. I can't go give anything I don't have. I think that's what that Lovers in reverse represents, because the moon is shining it on the black and white figures just like they are here. But the moon is trying to show us that those swords they're not really there. That's just what we're telling ourselves. It's, if we surrender, it doesn't hurt as bad. Like, we fall freely. So that's what I get from it. But, it just isn't worth it. All this negative thinking for anybody to do, any human being. It's about trust and faith for me. And that's how I got through this. I've truly believed through all this battle of cancer. I mean, like I'd said before, it's my third battle in a decade. And I was 7 years out and got hit with 2 new diagnoses. And I just ended up beating them all. And I'm in the very beginning of recovery. So I just found this out during the last full moon we had. So when everything moved into Virgo in my 8th house, a lot of stuff lifted. So yay Virgo season. Thanks a lot. So it's all going to work out. I have a stellium there in the 8th house. I'd strongly suggest that look into that astral travel, especially if you have a stellium in your 12th, 8th, or 4th house. And, being creative, if you have Aquarius rising has Gemini in the 5th house. And if you can create things, you can get rid of the emotions that, the lies we tell ourselves. That's what helps me anyway. So thank you so much, Aquarius. It's good to be back. I'm going to try to keep going and push out some more signs. So I will talk to you very soon. Check out my Instagram, Hazel's House 8, to see those 3 that came out during shuffling. And I think that's about it. It's so good to be back, and I hope to talk to you soon.